Okay, today we're going to do CAD model features part 5, which is the rectangular pegboard. So we're going to use rectangular pattern feature here with this one and show you that you can replicate a feature very easily across a wide area. So this says create a 6-inch wide times 4-inch high rectangle and extrude the rectangle to a depth of 0.5 inches. So we're going to start a 2D sketch, make it on XY plane. I'm just going to draw a rectangle first, and I'm going to dimension it. So width, I'm going to make 6.0. Now you'll notice it disappears because it expands. But if I zoom out and center it, I get that back. So then I'm going to dimension the height to 4.0. And that's all I'm going to do for that sketch. Finish sketch. And it says to extrude it to 0.5 inches. So then I'm going to hit the green check mark. Now I have to go about making the peg. It says use the following image of the sketch to draw the circle that will become the peg used in the pattern. Then select the rectangular pattern tool and replicate the existing cylindrical extrusion 6 times horizontal and 4 times vertical. So we're going to use this sketch right here to get the dimensions of our circle. So I'm going to start another 2D sketch on the front face of my board. Grab a circle. I'm going to put it in the lower left corner. Again, I don't care how big it is because I'm going to dimension it later on. Now, this says 0.5 inches from the bottom. So I'm going to click on the center of the circle, then click on the bottom of the board, drag it out, type 0.5. I'm going to do the same thing for the side because it says 0.5 inches from the left. So click there, center of the circle, and type in 0.5. The last measurement is the diameter of the circle, which is 0.3. So I grab my whole circle by clicking the outside, type 0.3, and there I have my sketch of my peg. I hit finish sketch. Now, the next step says to extrude it. And it doesn't give us a depth of an extrusion, so you can choose whatever you want. I'm going to choose 0.75 inches for the peg, and I'm going to hit OK. Now here's the main feature that you're going to learn with this particular part. This is a rectangular pattern. So if I go up here and I roll over it, it gives you an idea of what this does. It says it creates duplicate features and arranges them in rows or columns. You can specify the number and interval of the features. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to click rectangular pattern and it gives me a menu. Now I want this menu to look like what it is in the drawing over here. First thing I'm going to do is select my feature, which is the peg in this case. And then it asks me to select some directions. So I'm going to pick direction 1, which is going to be horizontal. If I go down and highlight the bottom line of the peg, okay, notice how I get a green arrow and I get this little green outline. This just tells you what it's going to do. So I want 6 of those. Notice how I get 5 more, and then the spacing 1 inch. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to pick direction 2, which is my vertical. So I'm going to go to my left edge, and notice how the arrow points down. We don't want that. So I'm going to go right here where it says flip and change the arrow to pointing up. And I want 4 of those. So I hit OK, and then that magically turns that into a pegboard. And last thing, always what you want to do is change a color. And who doesn't want an opal pegboard? Well, opal looks like about the same color as gray. So we'll pick rust. Okay, so there's a rusted pegboard. And then always save it in your user drive. I called this part 4 pegboard. And remember to take a snip of it when you are finished. Also, the other thing I wanted to show you is if you don't want to take a snip of it, what you can do is you can save a copy. So you can go down here to save as, save copy as, and then you can change the type. Remember, Blackboard doesn't support Inventor files, but I can change it to a PDF file if I want to. And it's loading up, and I'll show you here in a minute what that is going to look like. So you could save it as a PDF file, but the PDF file does not include your browser, so you may not want to do that, but I just wanted to show you that as an option.